What's up, YouTube? This is Josh coming at you. I was sitting around going through my game collection, adding some stuff in to price charting and just looking at what I have, and it made me think of something. I'm not sure if anyone's ever put this out there before or not, but I'm going to put it out there and see what you guys think of it. Stay tuned.
Skull, 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 skull.
So I was sitting around going through my collection, adding some stuff into price charting, looking some stuff over, and I had an idea for a community challenge. Now, I'm not saying that someone may not have had this challenge before. I'm not sure or not. If they have, kudos to them. I'm just going to continue it on. I haven't seen anybody do it, so here we go. So today, we are drinking the Lancaster Brewing Company Hog IPA. This is a 7% alcohol by volume IPA that is brewed with Magnum, Citra, and Cascade hops. This is brewed by Lancaster Brewing Company out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Now, Lancaster's a little bit further away from me, maybe an hour and a half or so. So I don't know if I'll make it to this brewery. Who knows, maybe one day. But if any of you guys are up in that area, it's a beautiful, beautiful rural country area. Lancaster Brewing Company, Hog IPA. Check them out if you can. So to get to what I'm getting at here, I was thinking about it when I was looking at all the pricing and stuff. And I don't know, I'm sure all of you guys, because you're all collectors out there, have noticed how the prices of everything have skyrocketed over the past 6 months to a year. Unbelievably so. So it got me thinking about what would the three most valuable things in my collection be. So I'm going to ask all you guys out there as part of this community challenge. Post up some video responses. If you don't want to do a video, put it in the comments down below. But post the three most valuable games, not game systems or consoles, but actual just games that you have in your collection. If you don't want to talk about the value of what they are, you don't have to, but I'll talk about the value of mine. Three of the most valuable games in your collection, and then two games that are more valuable to you than what their actual value is in your collection. So what I mean by that is the three that have the largest monetary value in your collection, and the two that, even though they may not have the largest monetary value, they have the most sentimental, or they just mean something to you, where if you had to get rid of all the rest of your games, these would be the only two games that you could keep. These would be the two that you choose. So I'm going to start with the three most valuable games that are in my collection, and then I'll go to the two that mean the most to me. So the most valuable game currently in my collection is an NES cartridge, and it's just a loose cartridge, but it's Stack Up. This is currently, as of today, which is April 27th, I believe, when I'm shooting this. The current value of this on price charting sits at $126.91 for a loose copy of this game. Now, I bought this game probably 8 or 9 years ago. This is probably one of the older games that I got when I finally started collecting for the NES again. I know I didn't pay nowhere near that much money for this. As a matter of fact, I think when I first started doing my price charting, adding everything into price charting, which was about 6 months or so ago, this game was probably worth about $30 to $40 less than what it is right now as of today. So that's the most valuable game that is in my collection. The second most valuable game in my collection was a game that I picked that I used to have years ago, and I gave it away because I did that with this entire collection of games. And when I started collecting again for the system, I wanted to pick this one up because this was one of my favorite games at the time for the system, and that is Ogre Battle 64 for the N64. this is like a strategy RPG, like turn-based strategy RPG. I love this game back when it came out years ago. I actually had it. I could kick myself in the ass for it, but when I moved on from the N64 to the PS2 to that system, I got the bright idea that it would be a cool uncle thing to give my old N64. So I gave my entire collection of games and my N64 and all my controllers and everything I had. I gave it to my nephews, who were, God, they were little guys then. They were probably in between maybe 2 and I think my oldest one might have been 6. They might have been a little older than that, 3 to 7, something like that. Either which way, they were little guys. And needless to say, I'm pretty sure that entire collection got trashed, with the exception of one game, which I will get to. But this was one that I loved back in the day. I wish I had never got rid of it. I had a complete in box. All my N64 games, I had kept the boxes and the manuals and everything. And when I gave it to them, I gave them everything all like that. And anyway, I guess I should tell you what it's worth. Currently, right now, for a loose cartridge for this game, as of today, this game is worth $119.50. I bought this game, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, and I think I may have paid about half that for it. It's crazy what the prices have went up to. So the third most valuable game in my collection, and I'll throw it up here, and then I'll actually give you an alternative to it. So this is the third most valuable game in my collection. It's The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for the Wii. It's sealed. It's still sealed. As a new game, it is worth $117.87 according to price charting as of today's date. Now, it's sealed, as I said, so it's a brand new copy. When I break this open, and eventually I will, unless I do get a copy for the Switch, then who knows, maybe I won't ever break it open. But if the day comes that I break this open, it would drop down. If I broke it open right now, the price would drop from $117.87 to $35.79. So puts it in perspective about it being a brand new game. So as an alternative to that, I'll give you the fourth most valuable game in my collection, because that one would drop off remarkably. That one would go way, way, way down the list if I open it up. This one's surprising, because this game here I would have never even had in my collection if it wasn't for my kids, because when we got the PlayStation VR, this was the game they wanted. Now, Job Simulator VR, it's complete because it didn't come with a manual. I believe the reason this game is so expensive, and it currently is sitting at $113.50 for a complete in-box copy, is because they didn't really make this very long in a physical thing. Most of the copies of this game that they sold were download only. So it's probably, even as a complete copy like this, it's probably not worth quite the $113.50 that it's listed as, because at some point the kids, looks like they spilled something on the cartridge, and I mean not the cartridge, but on the case, and I had to pull it out and dry the thing off. As you can see, it's kind of got that little watery damage look at things. So, but still, if this game was perfect, it would be worth $113.50. That's unbelievable. Okay, so the two games that I would keep in my collection if I had to get rid of everything else and I was only allowed to keep two games. The first game is the game that I actually got back from my nephews, the only game from my N64 collection. It's not complete in box, it's just the cartridge, but it's the only one that when they moved a few years back, they had found it, and my nephew just gave me the copy of it back. And it's in great shape, but it doesn't have the box and stuff. But it's Mario Kart 64. It's the only game from my N64 and from my original N64 collection that I have. And like I said, it's in fantastic shape. Doesn't have the box and the manual, but I did get myself a little custom-made one a while back off of eBay to keep it in. And the final game that I would keep from all my collection, if I had to get rid of one of these two games, I'd probably get rid of my original N64, because this is my original copy of Final Fantasy VII. I've had this since the game released. It's complete in box. As I've said in prior videos, I never actually owned a PlayStation 1. I had an N64. That's what I collected for. My roommate that I lived with at the time, in the late 90s when we were collecting, he had a PS1. He let me use that. I let him use my 64. This is the only game I ever bought for the system when it was current, and I still have it today. So, hope you guys like this video. If you get a chance, check out the Hog IPA from Lancaster Brewing Company. Really good. I hope that some of you guys do some VRs to this. It'd be kind of cool. I'd love to see what you guys have, what your most valuable games are, what your most cherished games are that you have in your collection. If you don't want to do a VR, like I said, pop it down in the comments. Just, if you like the video, like it. If you want, share it. Definitely leave me some comments. Do some VR responses to it, okay? See you guys next time. Cheers.